Tony, I guess this is the first time we get to talk with you since then. What was it like winning the award and getting it from Brent?
Well, first of all, didn't really think I had a chance to win. With Brent winning it the year before, I figured there's no way they're going to go with two Clemson guys in a row, 2 years in a row. But the overall experience was very, very humbling, just to learn of the legacy of Coach Broyles, just what he's meant to the state of Arkansas, the University of Arkansas, and college football in general. And then to meet his daughter and his granddaughter, and just how humble they are and all the work that they do in the community. It was really, really emotional. And when they called my name, I thought they had read it wrong. I sat there for about 15 seconds, and just the other finalists were tremendous coaches, but more importantly, just tremendous men. So it was a great experience, and really, it's not about me. When I first found out I was a finalist, I addressed the offense and said, this is about our Clemson offense being recognized, and really, really proud for our administration, our football program, and our university to have it back to back.
Tony, what does it say about you and how far you've come? I know you said it's not about you, but I mean, you were a guy who wasn't even sure you wanted to be coaching football when you came out of college, and
right.
And now here you are, the top assistant in college football.
Correct. To be honest, when I got into coaching, I never really had super high expectations. I knew the profession that I was getting into. I knew what I was walking away from. I knew that there was a lot of instability, and there was a lot of all about relationships. And really, the only people that I knew was Coach Bowden, Coach Stock, and Coach Sweeney. But took a gamble, and really, it was the Lord directing my path, and winning the award, just being a part of it, and having my name associated with Coach Broyles really brought confirmation that I made the right decision.
The Alabama, you guys are totally different as an offense than you were last year. Do you scrap that whole game plan and kind of start anew? Is there pieces that you can take from that last year?
No question. I mean, there's going to be some similar things that we do. Obviously, we are a little bit more balanced than we were last year. And the last couple of years, we've had to really throw the ball to take advantage of the opportunities that they're going to present. But we're going to have to have a good game plan. Our guys are going to have to win in the trenches. It's Alabama. I mean, they are the standard in college football. They're very, very talented at all three levels, and we're going to have to win the line of scrimmage. The backs are going to have to run hard, get the dirty yards, and then Kelly's going to have to make the competitive throws.
When you see them on tape, do you see that Alabama's quote unquote down this year?
No, I don't think Alabama is down. And if people are saying Alabama's down, golly, they must not have watched the film we've watched over the last 3 years. But it's just like where our program is and where we're trying to stay is they just reload. You look at the guys that they have inside. 99 is 6'7", 310 pounds, and he's a monster. And then Payne is back, better than ever. And then they've just plugged in some really talented young ends, and it looks like 32 is playing at a really, really high level. Obviously, Minka won the award for, I think, the best DB in the country, so they're definitely not down.
That being said,
what do you guys maybe focusing on trying to accomplish the most here?
Well, the first couple of days, really getting focused on ourselves and fundamentals, going back to the base things that got us here, and making sure that we dial in on those. And then as we continue to progress through practice, we're starting to build the plan for Alabama. Really getting back to the physicality as well. We understand that it's going to be a month off before we play again, so we really got to stress Clemson first, fundamentals, and then start ramping up the game plan for Bama.
Is that the main difference in this matchup, is that both teams have a lot more time to prepare than they have in the last two meetings?
It is a little bit different. That's one thing that when asked about it, I said it is different because both of us now have a month to prepare as opposed to a quick turnaround in a week. But they got unbelievable coaches, so they're going to be prepared. We got to do a great job of studying ourselves and making sure that we understand what our tendencies are and try to anticipate how they're going to attack us. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much time you have to prepare. In this game right here, it's going to come down to people winning their one-on-one matchups and making the competitive plays.
Coach Sweeney told us a couple of days ago that too much time for a coach is a bad thing. So what are some of the challenges of having so much time to wait on a matchup here?
The biggest thing is just making sure that you don't get away from who you are. And making sure that you don't try to add too much. Because at the end of the day, you got to win in the trenches and guys got to make competitive plays. And if they're thinking too much because you added too many new things and too many different wrinkles, trying to make sure that you're one step ahead of the other team, then you're going to slow the players down. And if you're a step slow in this game, you're not going to win.
Is it difficult to not overthink a matchup? Like the more you see something, the more you're going to pick up.
Well, they're going to give away, some opportunities just like they're going to see opportunities when they study us to attack us. And so the big thing is just to make sure that we know what our weaknesses are, what our tendencies are, improve upon those over the period of practice, and then have our guys, mentally dialed in by giving them an opportunity to understand the game plan because you don't have too much in.
How excited is Travis about playing in New Orleans in front of all the fans and his family?
Oh, very excited. You know, at first he was saying he wanted to go to the Rose Bowl because he's never been out west. But I've already talked to his coach, and I know his family's fired up, and he's excited. And one thing he did mention, he said, I never got a chance to play in the Dome in high school, so this is a homecoming for him, and so I anticipate he's going to be really excited.
At what point do you start getting those JV guys, as Dabo likes to call them, some work?
You know, this is the time where we start working them. So every day after practice, we dedicate some time to them from an individual standpoint, from a competitive crossover standpoint, and then also from a scheme standpoint. So this is the time where we try to also obviously get our varsity guys ready to play, but then some of those younger guys start getting them acclimated to the game so that they got advantage when their time comes in spring.
It's been just a few practices, but any of them standing out to
You know,
catch
it's,
the eye a little bit?
most of it's been individual work. You know,
Yeah.
today was the first there for the last about 5 minutes. We actually did some competitive stuff with scheme involved, so it's still too early to tell. But obviously, those guys also go through practice as well. So we'll see over the next couple of days.
With such a strong performance against Miami, what things do you look to clean up from that game going into Alabama? What are some
Well, first, ball security, staying consistent on third down. We got off to a great start on third down. And just continuing to press how important it is to be efficient in the red zone. You know, something that we've been able to do. There were obviously some opportunities for us to get better. They did some things up front with some movement, you know, that we didn't catch all the time. So there's a lot of things from a fundamental standpoint that we can work on.
You had a school record 5 AP All-Americans last year, exceeded that this year remarkably with 6, twice as many as Alabama has this year. How exciting is that? What does it say about the stability and consistency of this program, and especially senior guys on the offensive line, Mitch Hyatt, and proud to get that recognition?
Correct. I think over the last couple of years, you know, Deshaun, Mike Williams, everybody knows those guys are household names, but the difference has been what we've been able to do up front. You know, with Mitch being, you know, such a stable guy at that left tackle position, and for those guys to be recognized, you know, it's just a tribute to our weight staff, to all of our coaches and our nutrition and everybody. And then for those young men too, because they were highly recruited, but they still had to perform. And so for those guys to get recognition, and you wouldn't be a balanced offense and run the ball and pass the ball and protect the quarterback the way we do without those 5 guys up front.
To keep Alabama from stacking the box, going to have to throw the ball and throw the ball well. Is it good that Kelly is maybe playing his best football at the end of the year now?
You know, no question. You know, he started off good, you know, making a lot of throws, and then there was a little bit of a lull in the season where some of it wasn't his fault. You know, guys dropping balls and not giving him the best opportunities to throw it into big windows. But down the stretch, he's really come on, and that's what it's going to take. In games like this, it doesn't matter if it's Alabama or you're playing Georgia, you're playing Oklahoma. In championship football, you got to be able to make the competitive throws, and then the players got to make the receivers got to make the competitive catches as well.
One of the words I've heard you use a lot this year is patience. And how's that filtered down through the team from understanding how the offense